other one.
Greed is ugly, isn't it?
The bigger movement in the bigger cities, and just support the dickens out of the whole idea, and congratulate so many of the young people that are in New York and Oakland and everywhere else who seem to get it about the community building potential of this movement. No leadership, nobody in charge, nobody laying down the law. I don't know quite how that's working. I don't know if it's their experience with the internet or what, but there's a savvy out there that's really catching on. I love it. We can all, my age group, can be learning from it.
Along with corporations take away the responsibility of the individual and substitute it with their own pseudo-responsibility.
600,000 people joined the credit union. So in 1 month, more people joined the credit union than the entire 2010 year. So today is called Bank Transfer Day, and it's obvious that people are figuring it out.
Yep. I moved my money today.
Yay!
Bravo! What took you so long? He had to work 2 jobs to stay alive.
Oh, thank you.
That was thoughtful of you.
You're welcome. Mary, do you want to make a... Sorry.
Okay.
Let's go.
It's sort of like a Maine version.
You want me to hand them out to people that love you?
Are the 99%. We are the 99%. We are the 99%. We are.
Because everybody realizes that these banks brought the economic collapse to the whole world, not just to the United States, but to people all over the world who are suffering really terribly. And the banks are getting away with all of this without, the one sign that I made says the banks are too big to fail and the banksters are too big to jail. People like Robert Rubin have done much, much, much more harm than Bernie Madoff. I mean, Robert Rubin has literally destroyed the economy of the world, but he is going home with hundreds of millions of dollars every year. He's on the board of every big shot organization. He's, the well-respected statesman, and he should be in jail. People like Larry Summers and Geithner and all of these people who are representatives of the banks, they are not representing the people. They're supposed to be, representing the United States of America, which is 99% people, right? But they're representing the banks, they're representing the big corporations.
We are doing that.
You know, sing the other dead. Reason when there's no one
My
son is an astrophysicist. He has a bachelor's degree, and he's working at the local bakery.
Well, I know, but things.
Yeah. And on our street, my husband and both of the men next door to us have recently lost their jobs.
There's no big hurry. I mean, I can.
One in newspapers, one a maintenance person at a big factory, and one running a nonprofit.
This is I think one of those fulcrum issues that if we could change that, we could get at the root of so much. And just to add the local context, the way Linda was doing, because I think it's personal for so many of us, and so increasingly, I'll say that across the street from us, our 3 empty houses foreclosed upon. Actually, 2 foreclosed upon, 1 I'm not really sure. And as the mother of 2 kids in their 20s, I think a lot about student loans and healthcare issues and how creative this country could be if we solved some of that. Think of all the creative energy that our children and the rest of us could provide if we didn't have to have so many doors shut by corporate greed. I think it's what's happening.
Lack of jobs. Young adults who want to give back
What does that say?
are being blocked.
Future of our country.
Yeah,
We can take it back, though. We're taking it back. Here we go.
That's right.
That's okay. I'm here because of the increasing concentration of wealth in the top 1% and the extent to which that insulates them from what the rest of us in society are experiencing and the ways in which that enables them to influence and shape the politics of our country. And I really resent that, and I am experiencing it personally. Members of my family are unemployed. They are in the professional class, and they can't get jobs. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
My daughter and son-in-law and their 2 wonderful kids have been working their tails off for about 14 years, living in a nice house, which now they are having to leave. They have lost their house. And at least 1, 2, 3, 4 people that gather with me of a Sunday, those at least 4 that I know are having to get out of their house and are somewhere couch surfing or doing whatever it takes to try to survive. Half of my friends have 2 jobs or no jobs. And like Renee just said, it's just so evident that the system is helping 1% of the people. And my question is, how many breakfasts do they need? How many boats and cars and trucks and planes and all that do they need? And will they please stop and look around at our brothers and sisters that got nothing?
Yeah, it's called sharing.
Sharing. Right.
Yeah.
We need to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
8 or 10 people a day, minimum, go to the one shelter we have here in Brunswick and are sorry, we are filled up. Sorry, I hope your car doesn't get too cold. I hope there's a bridge under which it doesn't rain. Joel Murray, our sheriff, mentioned he knows 4 or 5 people sleeping in their cars or under bridges. So, we got to become active citizens. Thank you for joining us, whoever you are, wherever you are.
America is saturated with corruption to the core. We've got a corrupt legacy that goes back all the way to the beginning of this country. This level of corruption probably can't even be dealt with in any short time frame. And I don't know what to suggest beyond people developing themselves, raising their own consciousness while being aware of this corruption, this warmongering, this violence that this country has been part of for 500 years. White Europeans came to America, they started slaughtering people, and we've never stopped. We just keep going. We take the show on the road and slaughter and bomb people elsewhere. And it's a damn shame. It's a goddamn shame because human relations don't have to be this sick, this degenerate.
These are unprecedented times, and this is an unprecedented movement, and it is, and we have so much potential, and we are so grateful for the young people who are leading this, and we are in solidarity with you, and want to be part of it with you, and I think, it's all over the world. It's not just, it has nothing to do with individual nations anymore. It's corporate globalization all over the world. And every issue that each of us works on really fits in the occupation movement because as a peace activist, it's corporations who make the weapons, right? And then they've got to sell the weapons and we have war. And if you go to the environmental movement, the corporations are deciding oil and gas and coal, and not the renewable energy we need. So whatever you work, it doesn't matter. It's a unifying movement we can all be part of, and it's really exciting.
Right on.
Bravo, Carol.
It's not just here. Around the entire U.S. right now, people from every Occupy are going to their capitals to take their capitals in a symbolic action today. So we need as many people to get there in Augusta as we can, because it's not just about this little occupation here. It's not about occupying Maine. It's about occupying your whole world, about occupying society, changing the way that we see the world, changing the way that the world works. And the only way we can do that is if we come together. We're here to build a better future as a community, global community.
I'm just visiting for a couple days. I'm visiting friends up here in Maine. I've been down in Occupy Wall Street in New York City for the last 5 weeks. And I'd love to check in with anybody who's setting up Occupy here and just see how yours is going and offer what I can from what's happening down there. It's great to be here.
Thank you.
People are bracing for the weather. There are tents going up all over. And Occupy is beginning to set up good relations with other movements that have been going on for a long time before Occupy in the city, like the Stop, and Frisk movement that's been going up. We had vigils up in Harlem and Brooklyn to end the racist practice of the NYPD to stop young black and Latino men for no reason at all. It was started by Cornel West and Carl Dix, and every week or every 2 weeks people will be holding acts of civil disobedience in front of police precincts. We had 35 and then 25 people get arrested the last 2 weeks, and they'll be going on until we end this practice. So that's some of what's happening down there.
What kind of numbers are you getting?
It completely ranges. There's only room for about 200, 300, at most 400 people in the park at night. During the day, it becomes thousands of people walking through, participating in the working groups. And then during rallies, it can get up to tens of thousands.
Give you a bit of a recap on Occupy Maine, which is obviously in Portland. It is growing. We have at least 50 people sleeping there. We have tremendous community support. This week we opened the library, the Troy Davis Memorial Library, and it's a real working space. It's just wonderful. We welcome any kind of spiritual groups or faith groups or whatever to come and put energy into our encampment via the tent. If you come, our needs are plastic dishes, plastic bowls, silverware. We need tables for the library and so on, and we need like fold-up type of chairs. And you can come and just set up a tent for a day. A lot of people do that overnight.
Thank you so much.
Bravo.